Talk real quick.
Hello. I can hear us.
Okay,
we're
you can?
good.
Okay, we're good? Okay, I'm just making sure. All right, that's the start of the episode right there. Hey, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Aboveground Radio Podcast.
Hello.
Finally. Hello. Oh, hello.
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 Hello. How are you?
I am great. I am Richard Rodillo.
I am Jeff Bowler.
And we are the current, hopefully, and long-term host of the Aboveground Radio Podcast here in Southern California, giving you the new music, giving you cool things to listen to, and interesting topics that we will have later on in the show. Go ahead and already share this with all your friends and your family and your friends and your family already. Give us some love. We will be playing some awesome artists that are from the Southern California area. This podcast itself will be basically all the music will probably be from around the area, and you're in a band.
All SoCal.
All SoCal, all friends, and yeah. So let's get into the first song. The first song is by one of are you friends with Sunset Carriers? You know of them.
I know of them. I've talked to them. I know I've played with them.
I've had a conversation with them. This is off their new EP, Spit It Out. Go give them some love on Instagram before I'll give them another plug after this. The song plays. And once again, this is Sunset Carriers with Spit It Out. Alrighty then, we are back, and that was Sunset Carriers with Spit It Out. They have an Instagram, they have a Facebook. It should be all Sunset Carriers. I'm pretty sure they might have a Twitter. I'm not too sure actually, but I know for sure everyone operates on Instagram in Southern California area.
Always
anyways.
go Instagram.
Instagram is just easy, convenient. There's a lot of hashtags and a lot of things you can get noticed by very easily.
Mm-hmm.
You can get it caught into someone is like, I guess, bottomless hole of just looking up random shit and post and stuff. I do that with Facebook, but anyways.
I use Facebook only for video at this point.
Yeah,
just cat videos.
Yeah.
Love cat videos.
But anyways, we're gonna explain what the podcast is literally gonna be about. Almost not, in a condensed version or summary of what it is. It's like I said, it's us going to hopefully debut or show off some awesome bands from the Southern California area. We also are going to be sharing shows and information to go to watch these bands. We will eventually, hopefully in the future, we'll be having these bands here with us or us with them. Either way, we work it out and everything, and actually interview them, which will be hopefully fun and interesting to do. Also, we will be doing, like I said earlier, topics and interesting stuff, mostly around music. There is another podcast that'll be on the YouTube channel this is on, which is the Variety Hour channel. Go ahead and check that out on YouTube and subscribe already. But this is on the Aboveground Music on SoundCloud, hopefully. I don't think we're going to do Bandcamp because it doesn't make any sense to do Bandcamp.
We really think this through beforehand.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. I mean, I'll figure out how to do the iTunes podcast too. Maybe that would be interesting to do too, or just more convenient.
We should do that. That's a good idea.
Probably do that as
Hopefully one day you'll all hear this on iTunes.
Yes, because I don't know how to do that, but I will figure it out.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be that too hard. It's too hard.
We could Google it.
Yeah, I can Google it.
We could do it right now. You want to waste some time?
No.
I
mean, that sounds convenient.
All the folks at home could learn how to get their shit on iTunes.
Maybe we'll have that as a topic for
that'll be
one of the episodes.
Next week's
Actually,
topic.
that would be kind of educational, I guess, for me.
It would be.
And
it
might be part of the series or one of the topics that we're going to talk about later.
It should be, I think so.
That's a good pitch. Good pitch there. But yeah, and also it's just us, kind of being two normal human beings. I am a promoter in quotation marks, I guess, but mostly a fan and friends of all the bands. And that's how I met you, Jeff, obviously. And you are obviously in Bloom. You're not in any of the secret bands.
I am not in any secret bands anymore. And
then you also record other bands as well.
I do,
which is pretty interesting.
Yeah,
it's kind of an interesting job. We'll talk about that maybe in another podcast, but I think that's kind of an interesting kind of way of being in a band. And then, oh hey dude, do you record? It's like, yeah, I record, and then you record them, and the shit hits the fan, and you become best friends.
Yeah,
or something like that. I don't know.
Hopefully,
hopefully,
build those relationships.
Yeah, network in a way. That should also be. I mean, we're already like teasing everyone and foreshadowing about one of our topics, which is kind of interesting.
We really
are. But yeah, and like I said, please share this with people, especially with people that you think that would like want to listen to two normal people, I guess.
I'm not sure if I'd call us normal.
I would say like you're the most grounded out of like anyone I've listened or talked to.
Really?
I mean, you have your own apartment.
I
and
am
everything.
surprised.
Yeah, like you're the most mature
I'm
person.
grounded
for sure. That's exactly.
Well, it's not hard to be the most mature person in our music scene. That's for sure.
But that's a compliment, and that's why I've always I asked you to be a part of this as well, because you are a good friend and you're also reliable. You're not just like, oh hey Richard, all right, bye, that's it, and then never talk to me ever again.
This is great. This is all going to come up in our topic. This is perfect.
Exactly. But then we also have an Instagram, which maybe I might give you something or the password and everything. You can do whatever you want on the Aboveground Music.
I can not post anything for us.
On our Instagram, Aboveground Music, easy to find. We have our own shows. I throw shows. Jeff comes to them or plays.
Sometimes I'll play.
Sometimes he'll play.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. It's all mostly Southern California area. If you're a band from outside the area for some reason and you want to play at one of the Aboveground Music shows or get connected with promoters and stuff, we would be a good source to start with, or a good place to start. If you're in a band and you have no idea what the hell you're doing, well, let's get into the topic, but you could hit us up and we can send you into the right directions if we're not available to have you at a show. And if you're a fan and you're looking for new music, this is the best place to do, or to come to and listen to and discover something totally new and unique. And you can, I like it when you discover a band and you're like, oh, that's my band now. I like doing that. But yeah, definitely. Then,
I've discovered a few of those at some above ground music shows.
Definitely, because I have really good taste in music.
You do have really good taste.
I do. I mean, unfortunately, but yes. But anyways, we are going to get to the next song already. 2 songs already in.
So fast.
I know it is. That's the point. To discover.
It's like my sex life. Just very fast. Get it done really fast.
Already admitting to me excellent in bed. Anyways, we are moving on to the next band. This band is from San Diego, California. They are called Fake Tides, and this is off their split EP that they just released not too long ago. And the song is called Not You. And that was Fake Tides, Not You, an awesome band from Southern California, which is in San Diego. or San Diego's in. I don't know.
Close enough. Close enough.
Kind of
Southern,
blanked on that one.
Reverse.
But anyways, go ahead and check them out on Instagram. I think that's the only thing I actually follow them on, and I know that they're pretty much active on and posting their shows and stuff. I just saw them not too long ago at the Constellation Room.
Oh.
No. Yeah, no, Continental Room. Continental Room. You always get this confused.
In Fullerton.
Yes.
Good spot.
Good spot, definitely. They sounded awesome. So I haven't seen them in a while before that, so that was good.
I've heard nothing but good things about that band.
Yeah, because they're friends with the Nars and the Asthmatics and everything, which those guys are really nice. Edgar, Sal, and Lewis. I just texted Lewis earlier about playing the song and everything, and he was like, dude, for sure, yeah, go ahead and play it. Awesome. I was like, cool. Didn't get me in trouble like that, I guess. Even though I've never gotten any trouble.
We should play people's songs without asking them and see what happens.
And then just like, you can't play my song. Like, oh.
Who wouldn't want us to play their song?
Yeah, exactly.
Really?
I mean, when we were trying to promote them in a way and share the love.
Somebody's going to request royalties. Some money.
I mean, if for some stupid reason we start making money off this podcast, I mean, I guess I don't know, but I mean, it's free promotion. Good publicity is, or any publicity is good publicity. I can't talk.
Again, hit us up if you want your song played.
For sure.
If you're in a band, hit us up.
Good one. And we are going to get into our first topic, and you are going to take the reins on that, I guess, and then I will chime in whenever I can.
Yeah. All right, so our first topic for tonight is how has technology changed music and the music industry? And this is super controversial right now. So a bunch of people think digital technology and streaming has killed the music industry. It doesn't make nearly as much money as it did in the 90s. And then you have people more like me who's on the side of the independent musician who can now make a living, sort of more of a lower end working class living almost, but without
depending on where you live.
Yeah, without needing a major label and not needing radio support or anything
expensive
like that.
Equipment.
Yeah, and in my personal opinion, this is the best time to be making music. Because anyone can fucking record on a computer now. I mean, and you don't need a label to be putting you out, to be promoting you. You can do that with social media, with Instagram, all of that. You can, Spotify, iTunes.
All the tools are there. It's just depending on how you use it and how it is received as well, because like sometimes it's just random on why people like music. I mean, like you said, anyone can make music. Not some of the best music is made, but they are able to do that. And they're like where we are right now is, you're basically your like, I guess your dining room is like kitchen. Your dining room kitchen is like your studio in a way, and that's a way for you to not have to go to a studio and pay that money. And I know it's the studios are losing money and everything are going out of business, but for like a situation like I said, where depending on where you live, we live in Southern California. It is not cheap to live here at all. Like if you were living in, I can't think of maybe Austin would be maybe a little bit cheaper because it's Texas. I'm not saying Texas is worse or anything like that, but it's just the living, depending on where your living situations, but also because we're also in a very big melting pot of culture, but also of music. And I've talked to several bands that I've met a ton of bands, and I've talked to a lot of bands, and a lot of bands move out here just because they're able to play shows every week and not having to wait like every other month sometimes. And that's kind of draining and kind of depressing, because like you can't be yourself sometimes in a way, because that's when you're on stage and playing, you're basically being yourself. Hopefully, I mean, that's what you want to hope for.
Most people.
Yeah, for most
some people
yeah.
aren't themselves.
Yes.
Some people it's an act, but that live stage shit, that has...
Well, it's like a performance. It's more of like a theater art in a way, but I mean, that's like another topic on its own.
Yeah, we're getting so off.
But that's
great.
But I'm just going into like just the simple things you can do. I mean, like you said, I've talked to a couple, and there's two other musicians that I know in the scene that record other bands, and that's another way for them to make money. Like, honestly, it's like you're in a band, but you have to have a regular job to have a steady income, and then to get that extra money to recording bands and also experience, because like who knows from down the line for you, like you're like, man, I can't. I'm not saying you're quitting Bloom or like that. No, it's just like you're like, I can't do this anymore for some reason, and like you're just out of it or something like that, and then you apply for like a recording job at an actual studio or label, and then you get an actual job, and that's a steady paycheck.
Well, here's the thing with studios is the studios are closing down.
Well, yeah, but I meant for like more established
producers and engineers are not.
Yeah.
Bloom just recorded with an engineer, a producer based out of LA, who makes his full living, completely supports himself off being a producer, and his studio is in his apartment.
Yeah.
Most of the top engineers nowadays, producers, they just have very small, humble home studios because everything's done on the computer.
Yeah.
And you don't need that multi-million-dollar space
sound,
and console, and you
console,
have
sound,
that,
whatever you want to call it.
and in ways that has made music worse. I would say most pop music is pretty bad now because of how all the drums are edited perfect. They're replacing drums with samples, things like that. But I think as far as promotion for yourself and being able to get yourself out there is so much easier now. If you're an independent artist, you don't really need labels. You don't really need to rely on other people. You can do it all yourself now. And you're seeing major labels are closing down. There's very few of them now.
Well, and then also there's the like indie acts that aren't like the bigger indie acts. Like, I mean, I'm pretty sure Macklemore is not signed at all, right?
I have no idea.
From what
I know, Chase the Rapper.
Chance the Rapper is not. He's done all this. All this stuff is on SoundCloud, which is amazing.
Yeah.
And it's all free, and that's like a good way. I mean,
I think that's where the industry is going, is people getting big that way.
Yeah, if it's it gives you the ability to like get out there really quickly, but also it gives you the ability to have like the hassle of like having like a ball and chain from like someone telling you, oh no, you can't do that.
There's no middleman anymore, thanks to the internet. On the downside though, there's not nearly as much money to be made because people aren't buying physical anymore.
Yeah, because it's more or less about playing live and then merchandise, as in like t-shirts, I guess, and stuff, and then
you can make some money off streaming, but not a whole lot. You get in
Bandcamp. I think you can make something out of it. To your diehard fans or the people that are.
And in a way, it helps weed out those shitty bands that can't play live. You have to be a really good band to make it now because you have to rely on your live show.
Yeah, because I've definitely because I've been to a ton of shows from San Diego all the way up to LA, and I've seen a lot of bands and then listened to their recordings and stuff, and there's always like they can't, not that they can't figure it out, but they just haven't figured out like the recording sound, but they sound amazing live, or when their sound live isn't as good as what their recordings are. And I think that is difficult, but it's just time and keep on learning what you're supposed to do and kind of fix things. Unfortunately, you kind of have to fix things like okay, we can't do that anymore, or I don't know, it just, for me, when I see a band, I'm like, oh, this is a good band, and then they do something like not weird, but like just where like they just kill the crowd. Yeah, I'm not saying like it's a bad thing, or I know they're trying to be themselves, but it's just like sometimes that just doesn't work, and it's unfortunately it doesn't translate to the audience, I guess, in a way, and it's unfortunate. But that's more or less just the live part of it, our aspect of it. But recording wise, it's like you can get good recordings out of just being in like, I mean, you were recording the Sex Cells in like their laundry room. Yeah, tiny laundry room, which is kind of interesting and kind of cool. And we should talk about that in another podcast on how interesting and confined and how you make it work. I think that would be kind of interesting to talk about. But I do like bands that do analog. There's a band a smaller band. They play like the Constellation Room kind of like level band, but they tour and stuff. They're a band called Nothing, and like that's kind of funny though. Like I went to
We Are Nothing.
Yeah, We Are Nothing. And then I remember like I was talking to my mom, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go to a show tonight. She was like, oh, who are you gonna go see? I'm like, Nothing. She was like, what? Who are you gonna go see? And I'm like, no, Nothing. Like Nothing. That's the band. But they all their recordings or recent recordings that I know of, are all analog.
Yeah.
And then they, it sounds the best on vinyl and stuff. And, I love the way analog, not just like you hear it when you feel it, it's in your hand and you put it on the record and it starts to spin. It's just like, it's different. But, that's just a way for them
That's a big thing right now. Analog recording, going back to that.
Yeah, I guess in a way to, it's kind of good marketing in a way when you think about it, because it's like being more authentic and more to what, I guess, to core of the music. Because sometimes when I think about that, like, I think like you're overthinking, but just don't like, sell it too much in a way. Just do it, know? And then it's kind of weird to say that. It's just like, sometimes you just need to record it and, that's it.
I sort of have this weird love-hate thing with analog recording.
Really?
Yeah.
Because of the repetitive, no, you gotta do it again.
It's that, but I don't like this sort of concept that analog is better than digital. That's big right now. A lot of people are doing that. One thing I'm seeing is young people buying really cheap, shitty analog gear that actually sounds way worse than digital, but they're stuck in this mindset.
Hipsters,
that, yeah. Analog, yes, a fucking big ass Neve console sounds amazing, but that's, a couple $100,000.
Yeah, it's a mortgage.
And then the other thing is, like, most people are just playing their music on SoundCloud anyways, so you're going digital anyways. Now, if you want to do an all analog recording and then go vinyl with that is super cool. Totally like that. And vinyl in general is a good idea for any band right now, because it sells more than anything else.
Well, because it's physical, and like people are like, oh, you have vinyl. Like, I'm always asking bands like Fake Tides. I was like, hey, do you have any of that vinyl that you guys, because they made vinyl for their last EP, but the EP before that one. And I was like, do you guys have any left? He's like, nah, dude, we sold out of that like a long time ago. I was like, damn, because like I really like that record, but I think this is probably going to our next topic, but I think it would be smarter for a band. I mean, for signed bands, I think it's easier because obviously like the label is paying for everything.
Yeah, you got the money back in it. Vinyl is pretty expensive.
Yeah, because like I was even thinking about for recording some of the because not only I'm trying to do promotions and this, I also want to have almost a label or a platform for bands and then record them. And I was thinking like, oh man, I wonder how much it would cost to have it'd be cool to have like an Aboveground music compilation of all these cool bands, and then I put it on vinyl and put that out, because I think that'd be kind of cool and it'd be different. It'd be kind of saying like we're really trying to make this work in a way, and it's not like some kind of cheap trick in a way, I guess, or I don't know what
it's not think cassettes.
Yeah. Oh, well, not cassettes are not cheap. No, I think cassettes are cool.
Cheap.
They're cheap, but I think they're still cool. Because Koch gave me one of your older ones. I don't know why he gave me one of them, but he just gave me
to listen to probably.
Well, I don't have anything to listen to. I don't have a cassette player that I think I know that I have. But I was like, I think that's cool the way those are coming back and everything. Because I think I remember when I was younger and listening to cassettes, and it kind of has a different sound too, and I like I said, I like feeling like I've not only like when you listen to it, like I think touching it, I think it's just different. I feel, but that's just me being like a music fan as well, and
that's what I love about vinyl is can't hold it. It's fucking. You get this physical thing in your hand that you get to put down and watch spin around, and you get the big old album art and all of that.
And then, do you know who Jack White is, right? Obviously.
Oh, well,
yeah. Oh, okay.
No, who's that? Okay, who's Jack White?
I think he might have released some new music recently, but no, before the last album, I think it was Lazaretto. He had a cool vinyl where it had on the label, they actually had, you can play it on the label, and it had a secret song on there, which was cool. That wasn't only on the vinyl. And also, I don't know, right outside the label, like there's like empty space right there, right? He had like them cut the vinyl to where when it spinned, it was like a hologram of a cross.
Huh.
I'll bring it over to
That's
show you.
Interesting.
It was pretty sick.
He's doing some cool things for vinyl. Right now he has, I think, the only one left. The only recording studio that can record straight to vinyl. Yeah. And that's a total lost art.
And then also his one of the sides, it plays from inside out.
Oh,
which is really cool.
How'd you get your like turntable to do that?
I don't know how.
You just put in the middle and gravity takes over.
I'll bring it
somehow?
over next time and I'll show you and everything. But it's the coolest thing ever. Like I was like, wait, what? This plays inside out? I think you can reverse it or something like that. You can reverse the spin, and all it does is go the other way. Yeah. I think that's how I did it, because I played it. So
somehow
I figured it out, obviously. And like I wouldn't be telling you this. I know.
You just got a Jack White vinyl on one side. You're like, this kind of sounds like shit. What the fuck is?
No. Because before I was like looking at. I was like, oh, because I don't do not that I do research, but before, because I'm like, oh, I really like this record. I don't buy vinyl straight out most of the time. But like that was like one of the few ones. But then I was like, oh, let me actually like see what it is available online. And they had a video of it, and then they showed all the cool little features I guess you got with it. I was like, oh, this is fucking sick.
Yeah.
And then like literally not only 5 minutes later, I'm talking about one of my friends. He's like, dude, did you hear about the new Jack White vinyl? I was like, damn, I guess, or not white vinyl, the regular vinyl. I was like, what? He found out about it too, because it was like on kind of news in a way. Because that's kind of interesting, because of Facebook, the fucking black hole you scroll up on, and then he found a video that showed that, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna pick that up tomorrow, dude. It's like, oh, cool. But I think the latest album I picked up was Portugal the Man's Woodstock, which is like one of my favorite records this year.
That has that big song on it, the
feel it still. Yeah, the one.
I have a friend who's really into that too. He just got them on vinyl too.
Yeah, I was like, I was gonna go get King Cruel, but then I was like, they didn't have it, and I was like, I saw that, and I was like, I'll get that, because I listen to that record all the time.
I actually was really surprised to figure out that was a guy singing.
Yeah,
that high, very disco-y.
We're tangenting off a little bit, but it's okay. We'll probably end it after this.
We're far off.
Yeah. But anyways,
total tangent.
It's cool, because like for me, I'm like the guy that everyone goes to, and my friends are really close group of friends that they ask me like, hey, well, what are you listening to? Or like, I'm like, I'm listening. I'll put something on, and they're like, oh, what is this? And I remember showing one of my friends Portugal the Man for the first time, and he was like, is this a girl? And I was like, that's the same everyone gets that same reaction.
I didn't know until I saw a live video, and then I'm like, oh, okay.
Okay, then that wasn't. This is like another. I was going to go see them live at the Palladium, but then I was like, I've seen them on the live stream for Coachella not a couple years ago, it was a while ago, and I was like, I don't know if I want to go see them. And like that was like one of the bands I fucking love, like all their records, but like I don't like the way they sound live. And that's like really rare for me to do that. Like Foles is like, they're like one of my favorite bands to go see live, because it's just like a fucking like it's different from like other shows that I go to. Like I love going to like punk shows and shit, or like heavy metal shows, but for them it's just like, it's more groovy, but it's gritty and shit. But like anyways, tangenting off. But yeah. But we were talking about technology and music.
Yeah, how has technology changed music?
But no, if anything, I think a cool thing, since we're not gonna do a first topic or to talk about the podcast, it'd be cool if people responded and and said something about our topic that we talk about right now.
Tell us what you think about
what
you think about technology and music. Do you like it? Do you hate it? Do you think we're going the right way, the wrong way? What do you all think, pray people?
We'll respond to the comments. Also, give us feedback as well. That would be awesome to just tell us
we need to shut up, stop talking so much,
and put some fucking music on or something like that. Yeah. But yeah, that was good. That was a good first topic of ever for us. Yeah. Cool. All right, so we are going to get into the second to last song of this podcast. It's one of both of our good friends, 3LH. This song is called Kill Floor. Enjoy, and we'll see you after the song. Alrighty then, that was 3LH with Kill Floor. That was Kevin, Rafa, and Fabian. Fabian asked me about something. We were both drinking at the time. He's like, "What's our new song called?" I was like, "Killing Floor." He's like, "Close enough." But I was like, "No," because like
you tried.
No, because I feel like it's more of like killing floor, because like the way the guitar riffs and everything, the bass. It sounds like someone's...
Most times with 3LH, you're drinking when you're with them. It's a good vibe. It's part of being with them.
Nice guys. Go ahead and check them out on Instagram. All the bands, basically, they're the best way to find out where they're playing or find out where their music is, because they all have links on their profiles, is to go to their Instagram. This is just 3LH, the 3, the L, the H, and then you should find them. I think it's 3LH.official though. But it is
something like that.
But it should be just like the first thing you type in for 3LH.
How many other 3LHs are there on Instagram?
Apparently, there's more than one.
At least one, because they gotta be official.
There's probably someone that did some stupid thing, but that's the reason why they got it. But we're gonna get into the shows real quick. Aboveground Music is gonna have their first show in a very long time. I think since like Friday the 13th.
Yeah,
you guys,
amazing show. Amazing.
Yeah, you played that one.
Had a lot of fun with that.
But the next show we have up is on November 16th at Max Bloom's Cafe Noir. It's an awesome place, and it's an awesome place because that's mostly where I display bands that I'm just meeting and kind of entering into the Aboveground music scene. I guess in a way, I'm burping for some reason. Or hippocoming, I don't know. And then that's all it for me. For you, I know you guys are going to be playing.
Yeah, Bloom is going to be playing November 18th at Narburger. Echo Park.
Koch told me about that one.
Yeah,
I think.
we're playing early, so get there early. It should be fun.
Is this like a festival kind of?
No, it's only 3 bands. So Burger Records, who has their Fullerton shop, yeah, they have another shop in Echo Park called Narburger.
Perfect, that's awesome.
And the week before, the Nars are actually playing there on the 11th. So if you can't make a guitar show, go check out the Nars on the 11th.
Awesome, gentlemen, and they're recording, and hopefully we'll be able to debut something from them pretty soon. Because I know they just got done recording, but yeah. Those guys are awesome too. You guys played with them at Ricardo's.
We did just play with them. It's the first time in a long time that we got to play with them. It's been a good break.
It's been a while for them to play even in Orange County. Well, I think I talked to them last time and they're like, "Yeah, dude, it's kind of weird. Like for some reason why we're not playing, but it's just because the scheduling, and they're going to LA and San Diego a lot. Yeah, and that's where they're really like requested and stuff, which is not bad. It's a good thing. Yeah,
it's good to get out of your home. They had good crowd for him when I saw him, and we just played.
I remember yours. I remember your set, dude. That was wild. That was pretty. That was like the best.
That was a fun set.
I think that was like one of the best crowds I've seen for you guys. Like just energy wise, and how they give the energy back. And I know Koch fucking loved it.
Yeah,
and you're smiling over there and your drums and everything.
It was a fun time. Yeah, that Friday 13th was super fun too.
That was a good show. That was a really good show. And Scatterbrain and 3LH that we just played. But yeah, if you are a band also and you want us to talk about or promote your show, hit us up at Aboveground Music on Instagram. Just DM us right there and say, hey, promote our show. And then hopefully if it falls in line to where before we record it and it's good timing and everything, and I'll let you know if we actually put you on and stuff. And and if you're another promoter too, I don't care if you're
anyone can hit us up.
Anyone can everyone. Just DM us on Instagram at Aboveground Music, and that's pretty much it for that. Yeah. And then we're gonna get into our last topic and then to our last song, and then we're already over.
Jeez,
it's already
so
over.
Fast.
I know, but maybe I don't know. Well, this one's interesting because before we talked about doing topics and everything, because I told you and you're like, I don't know what to talk about, and then you come up with these.
I still don't know what to talk about.
No, you came up with these 2 brilliant topics, and like it was my topic was basically going to be the topic, or it's going to be a part of the topics, a series of topics that we're going to talk about, and I think that was a good idea. And I don't know if you want to take the reins on this one again.
I could, yeah. So I'm assuming if you are listening to this right now, you probably like music.
Check.
You probably might be in a band.
Check.
But if you're not in a band, you probably want to start a band.
Check.
So, what we're going to do over the next couple podcasts is I'm going to walk you through how to start a band, according to Jeff. I have been in, I think I counted as close to like 10 bands.
Impressive.
Yeah, no, not impressive.
I've not gotten signed yet, so obviously.
Not impressive at all. I've been through about like 10 bands or so. Some, it depends what your definition of band is. Some never even played a show. Okay. Some only practice. Some was pretty much the same band that just changed their name a shit ton.
Well, Coda.
But, yeah, like Coda. I don't really consider Coda. I consider that part of Bloom, but... Okay. Yeah, one thing I learned, though, all of those, they all fucked up somewhere. So I have plenty of experience with doing shit wrong when it comes to being in a band, which I can share with all of you so you don't do what I did.
Good.
Yeah.
These are like life lessons, too.
Yeah.
Being good friends and being a good human being as well.
Exactly. So today we're going to just start off with the very basics of how do you find musicians and what are you looking for in your musicians? What are you looking for in a bandmate? So the hardest part about starting a band, especially if you've never been in a band, is finding musicians. So if you're in high school or college, this is way easier because you can just essentially walk around your school, look for somebody with an acoustic guitar.
Yeah, like, that motherfucker looks like he wants to be in my band.
He probably knows somebody. They have music programs. And what you're going, if you're not, it might be a bit harder, but you can still find people. What you want to do is you want to talk to these people and figure out where your local music scene is. Where are people playing? What are the bands? Who?
I would recommend just becoming this person's friend.
Yeah.
I think my voice just cracked, but yeah, just befriending this person and seeing where they go.
You should befriend as many musicians as possible.
Especially if it's a girl, for sure. Yes, because things can happen. Because you're a guy. Oh, I mean, if you're a girl, then guy, different combinations, and who knows how it works.
This is how to start a band and also how to start a relationship.
There you go as well.
So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to talk to these people, and you're going to want to ask them if do they know anybody who wants to be in a band, or do they want to be in a band, and you want to ask as many people as possible. So you want
weed out all the shitty ones. That's what you want to do.
And you again, yeah. Weed out all the shit ones, but I got a process for that, which we'll get to. But you do want to become friends with all these people because you want to build up a roster of people that when you need band members, you can call people and you can message people. If you don't have any way of meeting musicians, your next best bet is going to be through social media, through Instagram, through Facebook. I wouldn't recommend messaging people. I would more recommend going to their show and meeting them in person.
Yeah, because it's kind of weird. Yeah, for sure.
And it's really, really easy to just ignore a message from someone who's like, "Hey, do you know
Sometimes
musicians?"
You don't even see it.
Yeah. Especially if they're a big band.
Yeah.
So, you want to be seen. And in general, to get shows, you need to be seen too at shows.
Exactly.
So, go shows, become a part of your local music scene. And that's how you'll find musicians.
I definitely recommend, because I'm going through this process as well, but I'm doing it in a different way, and that's my own way. Definitely going to shows, hands down, because you meet cool people. There can literally be a person in the crowd with you that's not in a band but is also looking for someone in the band. One of the art galleries I worked at, one of the bands that plays or that I know and became a band there, they literally just met each other just by standing next to each other and they started talking. It turned into a relationship, and they're like, oh, let's play music together, and like that's how a band can start. It can start from anything almost, but like that's one of the best ways to do that and to start a band. I recommend. For me, it's a little bit different because I'll get into that maybe another time. But it's
you're playing on the show, so
yes, I'm putting on the show, so
find the bands.
It's easy for me to find the bands and just people that want to play music and people that have the same interests as me, and that's what's perfect about it. And then, I think another thing too is to, how do I say it? Don't be don't be too cocky about it as well, I think.
Yeah, be cool.
Be cool, be relaxed, don't be pushy.
That sort of goes into, you know, what's coming up next, which is how to find the right people.
Exactly.
So here's what you don't do. You do not pick someone based on how they look. If they have the right style for your band, you know, if they got the right aesthetic, you don't want that. And then this one, which is the mistake I see the most people doing, is talent really doesn't matter as much as you think it does.
Yeah, it doesn't.
It really doesn't. Talent can be learned. You can, if anyone can learn to play the guitar. What matters most, yeah. Well, if you really want to try hard enough, anyone can learn how to play any instrument. Talent doesn't matter. What matters most are two things. And first one is work ethic. Do they have drive?
Yes.
Are they going to show up to practice on time? Yeah, commit to this is, being in a band is a pain in the ass. It's a lot of work for very, very little reward. And, you know, it's hard. And you really need to be driven. You really need to be focused to be able to make it work.
And it's literally like finding a girlfriend in a way when you think about it. It is because like you're like, okay, is he gonna show up, or you know, how are they gonna react today? Jesus, like, I mean, I'm not like gonna say anything like negative, but like, you know, like, do they have a drinking problem? Do they do drugs? Yeah. Obviously, those are kind of things you want to notice. Yeah.
So, you want someone who's going... The good ways to tell are they going to show up to the first practice on time? If they're late right away, that's a bad sign. Is all their gear there? Did they forget gear? Is it working? Did they learn the songs that you told them to learn? Things like that. You know, that is... really, I know musicians that are amazing musicians who are lazy as all hell, and they're going nowhere because of it. You know, you need to have work ethic. Someone who can barely play guitar with a lot of work ethic is going to go a lot farther than someone who's Jimi Hendrix sitting on a couch.
Yeah.
So
I think another cool thing, or another interesting thing to point out as well, is I don't think first impressions you should like take for granted, or just take a little bit by bit. I think one thing that I notice is that, you know, you can just meet this person straight off, and for some reason it doesn't gel well, but for some reason, like, oh, but he wants to still play. Yeah. Sometimes that person, you know, the way for them to open up, to express themselves and to get out of their shell with you is to just jam together, and that's kind of like a bonding thing. Like, sometimes it just doesn't. It feels like it's not working, or you don't have the chemistry because you're just talking. You can't have a conversation with the person for some reason. But you're like, the only common thing is like playing music. But then once you start playing music, you're like, and then you talk about playing different chords or something like that, or oh, I have trouble doing this, and then like kind of like laugh about it, and then it just turns into like a tangent relationship in a way.
You'll build chemistry that way.
Exactly, and I don't think. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad, but sometimes it's okay to not have chemistry straight off the bat. Yeah. Like, don't just take that and be like, oh man, this is not gonna work. No, just keep working at it. Don't force it, obviously, but I feel like, you know, it's just gonna happen in a way. And then
second thing you want to look for, most important thing, is you want to make sure that you like them.
Yes.
You don't want a fucking asshole in your band. You don't want someone... You're going to spend hours and hours and hours with this person. Yes. You're going to probably be in the car with them for a long time. You're going... If you're on tour, you're going to live with them.
Yeah, you're going to sleep right next to them.
You don't want someone who you're going to hate. It's just not going to work out. Like you said, it's like being in a relationship. You got like the person you're in a relationship with.
You don't want to make it into like your shitty job situation, like where you're like, fuck, I gotta be with this person because I gotta get paid here. Like you gotta feel like, I guess, in a way, be able to put up with the person. But I think you also need to compromise as well. You know,
I don't compromise. I don't compromise. I just kick them out. Fuck them.
Well, I'm just saying, like, you know, like if there's an annoying thing that you do, you know, there's
well, there are little things, but I'm talking about, like, you know, if you're going to show a song to someone and they're going to be negative and nitpick it, they're not, you know, if they're going to tell you suck. I was in a band with a kid who's really good, and he knew he was really good, and he sort of had this ego about everything. Like,
Perfect.
he knew more about everything because he was better than everybody. And, you know, he got kicked out because you can't act like that. You gotta be cool to hang out with. You gotta be a good person.
And that, I think that's too, like, these days you can't really have an ego in a band, because like the rock star like mentality and like lifestyle is like gone. Like the 80s are, it's not the 80s anymore, and I feel like that's like the core, like,
and
like,
look at all those bands. Any band that had somebody who was like that in the band, any Guns N' Roses type band, they fucking broke up. Like,
because of one person.
It doesn't last. It really doesn't. So above all, you know, what I'm getting at is, don't rely on just talent. You need someone who has work ethic, and you need someone who you can be with and hang out with for a long time.
A lot of passion, I think, is a good thing.
Yeah. Goes with the work ethic. They need to want to do it as badly as you.
Because I definitely like watching, like, I've watched a lot of bands grow, and I definitely like when they progress and they release more music and stuff, and like they seem more happy. I like it when they're happier on stage and stuff, not like fucking like miserable. I've seen some people where they're just like, they don't even want to be there. Yeah. And those are some of them are very popular bands that I don't want to say, but like some of the, not the guys or the girls, they just seem like they just like, they're just there just to play because.
And it turns the audience off when someone's like that, you know? You don't have to be there. Yeah. You could be at home. You don't have to play in this band.
I mean, I don't know. It's different, I guess, for everyone as well. You know, sometimes they can have a shitty day. Like could literally be like they got in a car accident, but they barely made it to a show or something like that.
Yeah, I've had shitty shows because of shitty days.
Yeah,
but
I think you also have to just, you know, wear a smile as well, or try to, you know, make it work. You know, try to bring shit onto other people.
Well, if you're not having fun, why are you doing it?
Yeah,
you know?
You gotta be like for that bad day. I'm talking about.
Oh, for that bad day. Yeah. Oh, well, fuck you on your bad day. Get happy.
I guess. Yeah.
Why are you not happy? No bad days.
Yeah. No bad days.
Like those old people bumper stickers.
But I mean, do you want to keep going, or do you want to say a couple more things before the series? I mean,
this is well organized.
No, because like I said, this is gonna be a series where we continue. I think there's more stuff to add on. I think once you start playing, one thing I do recommend, from what I know, what I'm doing in my situation and everything, is and from what I heard from other people, is you kind of want to have like a thing you want, like our sound, or like the kind of the way you want to do it, but don't expect the other people to do it that way as well. Yeah. I feel as if, you know, you can't just program someone to do something.
This was something I was going to talk about next week, but I'll go into it a little bit. Is if you are the songwriter for your band, the main guy, you cannot get mad when the song doesn't sound how you originally wrote it. Yeah. When it changes, you gotta be able to work, and that goes with the whole not having an ego and being able, you know, not being a dick. Is you gotta be able to work with other people. This is work, you know. You gotta be able to hear them out.
Compromise.
Yeah. Compromise. You know, said it's a relationship.
Yes, you know, it is, and that's what you have to know what you're getting into. And
if there's sexual attraction between you and, you know, your bandmates, that's a plus too.
I mean, it depends on your sexual or never mind. Well,
no, okay.
I don't think we're gonna go down.
I'm just saying, Mason is cute. That's all I'm trying to say. Have you seen him play shirtless?
Glad you picked him up. Yeah.
Glad he made it.
But yeah, I think that's good. We can leave that topic of series off right there, and we'll drop those kids off at school and pick them back up later. And yeah, thank you guys for listening. Again, we're gonna keep on plugging ourselves. Like I said, this is the Aboveground Radio podcast. For some reason, we put radio and podcast at the end because it just makes sense, I guess. And
we're saving radio.
Yeah, like I said, go ahead and share this, please, with anyone you think that would like to listen to something like this and is interested in the topics that we're talking about and the music, which is probably the most important part. And also go ahead and check us out on Instagram. Check us out on our shows and stuff. at Aboveground Music. Go ahead and check us out on YouTube, which this will be on the Variety Hour channel, which is Aboveground's music's thing on there. It's a whole clusterfuck on the YouTube, and hopefully we'll get this on iTunes. Do you want to plug yourself on your whatever, like your Instagram or Twitter or something like that?
On my Instagram? Well, go check out my band. My band is at bloom.oc on Instagram. We got a website, bloomoc.com.
I forgot you do have a website.
We do have a website.
You
We're
have a
quite
Facebook
professional.
too as well.
We have a Facebook.
And a Twitter.
Yeah. Twitter, Spotify. But Spotify.
I think you guys are on iTunes too.
We are on iTunes. We're on all the major ones. We're on Apple Music. Yeah, and make sure to comment. You know, any questions, any topics you guys
let us know how bad we're doing.
Yeah.
See, and then also, I think it would be kind of cool too if, hopefully you guys respond. Tell us what you guys think about what we're talking about. Also, if you have a topic too as well and you want to recommend that, shit, we'll talk about that as well.
Yeah.
And we'll give you a shout out and everything. And that's pretty much it, man. I think we're going to get into the last song of the podcast, which is Sex Cells, EXO Girl, which they just released off their latest EP. I forgot what's their EP called.
It's just...
I think it's just self-titled?
Yeah, it's self-titled.
I thought it was... Okay, I thought they had a title, but never mind.
I recorded it and I really don't know.
No, I don't think they did. From what I remember, they don't have any kind of weird title on there. Yeah,
I'm pretty sure it's mostly just their old EP re-recorded.
Oh, I think there's a couple new songs on there.
There probably is. Yeah.
Yeah, it's because there's Si Sombre and Feed. I don't know if Home's on there. Was Home on there?
Home is on there.
Okay, Home is on there. Okay. No, I think there's, and then EXO Girl and Death Appeal. I think they're two new songs that they put on. That one.
My two favorite songs.
Yes. And EXO Girl is his last song we're going to play. And hopefully you enjoy that. Go ahead and check them out on Instagram. They have a Twitter. Mostly just their Instagram. Check out when they're going to play next. And yeah. So I'm Richard Radillo.
I'm Jeff.
And enjoy. We'll see you guys next time on the Sunset Radio. Oh, not Sunset Radio. Aboveground Music Podcast. That was the old podcast. Sorry. And yeah. We'll see you guys next time. Bye.
See ya.